Let's start with a big one. Right, so let's start with energy because the West African gas pipeline, WAPCo, has begun discussions with government and the Volta River Authority over payment of arrears owed the private Nigerian joint venture capital company, N-Gas. Now, we're told that N-Gas has threatened to cut supply to Ghana between Wednesday and Thursday if the VRa fails to honor its obligations. TV3 has gathered that as of August 2014, VRa owed N-Gas about $180 million. The general manager of West African Gas Pipeline, Harriet Rekubrobe, said N-Gas has issued a warning that it will curtail gas supply even though some amount of the $180 million have been paid by VRa. Now, we are told currently that talks are ongoing and it remains unclear what the outcome will be. WAPCo is expected to address the press tomorrow on the issue of the debt owed by VRa to N-Gas Nigeria. Because some energy experts are asking that government quickly goes in there to pay the money because they are arguing that they do not know any business that will pile up a debt of $180 million and yet continue to ensure supplies.
Ability to settle its indebtedness of over $100 million to Nigerian gas continues to heighten the feud between Ghana and Nigeria over unpaid supply of gas. Gas supply from Nigeria in recent times has improved significantly, with Ghana receiving in excess of 140 million standard cubic feet daily. The executive director of KITE, Ishmael Ejekumhene, indicated the Asogli and Abuaze plants would shut down if the Nigerian authorities decline to supply gas required for the operations.
Asogli is owing VRa for the gas that they took from the pipeline. And Asogli will tell you that they haven't paid VRa because ECG is owing them because they sold the power to them. They haven't been able to. ECG, we all know, having probably everybody is also owing ECG, including the government. So it's now become a vicious cycle where we are trying to transfer the problems that we have in our sector into another person's economy and another person's business, and they're not going to tolerate that.
The energy expert charged government to institute immediate measures to settle its indebtedness.
The growing indebtedness of the utilities and the fact that everybody is owing everybody will have to be resolved very quickly. The Nigerians will have to be paid. Ghana Gas will have to be paid immediately because we can't afford to allow the debt stock to also grow there. But in the long run, I believe part of the solution is what they are trying to do, trying to fix ECG, because ultimately everything seems to be revolving around ECG.
All right, so let's try and look at particularly the implications of this cut, if indeed it should happen. Ben Boache is the Director of Operations of the African Center for Energy Policy. He's just joined me on phone. We're grateful for your time tonight. But first of all, let us look at how much Nigeria is giving Ghana. And then, in case what we are hearing should happen, what could be the immediate implications?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. I think Nigeria has been supplying an average of about 70 million standard cubic feet. Even in recent times, the shops have supplied to almost 120 million standard cubic feet. So that was significant gas. That was enough to power all our thermal plants that need gas in the Tema enclave. So that is significant. You're talking about 400 megawatts, 420 megawatts of power plants being supplied with gas. So if we're going to have that power plants cut out, then you know the implication of the doom that we have. It means that we're going to have to intensify the options are. The options are that we may want to buy a more expensive fuel, distillate fuel, for some of the power plants. But unfortunately, some of them are only gas-configured turbines. For example, they are 200 megawatt power plants, cannot use any other fuel. Therefore, that will be cut out until the gas supply is restored from Nigeria.
And so this is to say that Atwabo isn't ready to give us that amount that perhaps could replace the one we're receiving from Nigeria?
I mean, what we receive from Nigeria is about the equivalence of what is produced at Atwabo.
A day?
Yes. The problem we do have even is that if we have extra gas from Atwabo, we cannot have it in Tema because we were not smart enough and did not plan well to have a reverse flow of the gas to come to Tema. If you are planning to build such an infrastructure in Tema, you have to look at a diversified market that enables you to sell your gas at any rate. But we only concentrated on using the gas to generate power on the Western Corridor, and sometimes you do have excess, and we don't have any use for them, so we end up flaring when we could have reversed it to Tema. So in this case, all the buyers in all the plants in Tema will be stranded. We can't have gas coming from Atwabo to come and fire them, even if we have excess there.
And for you who are in the industry, this kind of debt, is it difficult to manage? How do you deal with it when it happens like that and then your supplier is threatening? Is it manageable? Can the two talk and come to an agreement?
For how long is the question? I mean, this debt has not been there in recent times. We have not been paying them as we should. It has grown over the period to 180 million. You know, even early this year when we were talking, the debt levels were around $120 million. So we have seen a jump of about $60 million, and that is not a joke, you know. So this is where we are, and I wish that we were able to circumvent this situation and not allow gas supply to be cut. If we allow it, then the implication could be there for business and for homes.
And so you're suggesting that because this is a debt that's been hanging for quite some time, it is difficult to diplomatically settle it?
I think there could still be a way out if we can have a roadmap how to pay the debts. The Nigerians will also want to see that kind of approach, you know, to settle it. Once they have gas, it's also in their interest to sell it. So once we can have a program in place to tell them that this is how we want to pay, we're committed to paying, then, I mean, some settlement could be reached before end of tomorrow, where they are threatening to see supply of gas to Ghana. I mean, beyond that, I'm sure they will do it.
Ben Brachi, we're grateful for your time tonight. He is the Director of Operations at the African Center for Energy Policy, talking to me there. And diplomatic talks were told ongoing now to avert the cut of gas supply to Ghana. We'll get you more on that. But let's stay with the energy sector, because the management of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Limited, BOST, says it is bringing in 24,000 tons of LPG to address the current shortage. Now, the company has already supplied the Tema Oil Refinery with 6,000 tons of the commodity.
The intervention comes at a time when Nigeria Gas has threatened to cut gas supply to Ghana if the Volta River Authority fails to honor its debt obligations.
This month, we are bringing in 24,000 tons of LPG to support national consumption. We've so far done about 6,000 tons of it as we speak, and we have vessels coming in over the next few days to be able to address that.
He hinted on plans to collaborate with the Tema Oil Refinery to build an additional 10,000 LPG storage and transmission infrastructure between the next 18 months.
We are going to put one 5,000-ton facility in Buipe. We are going to put another 6,000-ton facility in the Ashanti region. We are yet to finalize on the site. And we are going to expand the Tema storage we have by an additional 10,000 tons.
Currently, the Tema Oil Refinery has a storage capacity of 8,500 tons for LPG.